All right, I'm recording here with Courtney Swan. How are you? It's been a long time.
I'm doing great. Thanks, Matt, for having me. This is super fun. I've been really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm glad we could catch up. You've been super busy. Tell me a little bit about what's been going on in life.
So I'm 2 months into my integrated plastic surgery residency at Emory. So I graduated med school at Florida and then moved up to Atlanta and started working in the hospital. So it's been wonderful. It's been a great experience so far, and really looking forward to being in Atlanta for the next 6 years.
How obviously a crazy time to be moving and adjusting to new life. Have you had any time to do anything fun in quarantine, or are you pretty much just been working nonstop?
The first few months, because we get a good amount of time off from med school before starting residency, got to do a lot of fishing. That's probably the best thing, being down in Miami. Besides that, just getting to spend a lot more time with family, which has been really nice. And then moving up to Atlanta. Atlanta's kind of open halfway, so we've gotten to do a few things, but nothing too crazy. And then now just full steam ahead and into work and going to the hospital every day.
Any good catches? Any big ones?
Yeah, we caught a few dolphin, some tunas. We'd caught wahoos earlier in the season, like closer December, January. But it's been great, and hopefully we can go diving this weekend since I'm on vacation. So we'll see what we catch.
Well, thanks for joining me on vacation. Yes,
Of
I'll
course,
try not to keep you too long.
it's okay.
All right. Well, let's. I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get started. Now, I didn't like. I knew I did a lot of photo shoots with you, but I didn't realize how many until like I was actually going back trying to look through photos. I was like, wow, we did a lot of stuff together. Some team and some not. But do you have
Yeah.
any? Did you have a favorite shoot in our time together?
Gosh, probably the water one. That was the most memorable. I'd say jumping. I've never experienced jumping in and out of a pool with all of your gear on, so that was really fun.
All right, well,
Uh,
let's start with that one then. Let me pull some of those up. This
oh
is
my,
this is kind of the behind the scenes look of it.
oh my gosh, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I gotta find the final product though, because there were some good ones. Like this was one of my favorites. Just with
I know
the
your
with
artistic
fans.
ability to be able to see that, and I just felt like I was a soaking wet dog in the pool, but the pictures turned out awesome.
Yeah, this was one of my favorites, and I don't know. I put this in my thing I've been doing with my kids. They picked
Uh-huh.
this one the other day. So it's been fun to take a stroll down memory lane and have them involved and looking through some old photos. And now they're recreating everything. So I'm sure at some point they're gonna be like, "Dad, can we go get in the pool and do this?"
I'm surprised they haven't already. I know I love seeing your Instagram posts and
So
Carter.
I finally let them get the hose out the other day. They were out doing sprinkler anyway, so I was like, all right, we'll do one outdoors. So I may have opened Pandora's box on that one. So,
I I think you did, but no, they got to recreate them exactly.
but so I was just telling you before, it was like a 2 hour shoot. So I don't know how you did it so many times, because there were like you were basically coming up from underwater to do some of these shots. Like,
Your gear is definitely heavier when it's soaking wet, but I remember it just being so much fun. Um, I don't know. Was there anybody else in the pool? Because we were kind of in that back area. I
yeah,
can't remember
so
if anybody
so
was giving.
we were in the shallow pool, and I
Uh-huh.
can't remember, was I in with you? I can't remember
I,
if I actually shot it from in the pool or outside of the pool,
I can't remember either.
but I think I might have actually been in on this one just because of how low I am to the water in a lot of these. But yeah, this is the favorite one. This is the one jumping off that I probably kept saying, all right, just one more, and it probably ended up being like 35 more times.
Oh, but it turned out so great. I know, trying to look at you and the water in your face, but no, it was a great shoot. It was tons of fun.
So we had one person throwing a bucket of water, and then one person spraying a hose, and then you jumping in. So it was a lot of takes to get it right, but we finally got some good ones.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. I do remember that. It was quite the production.
It's a lot of fun, and it was like I've said, I can't have somebody with the last name Swan and not try to incorporate water somehow, right?
Exactly.
Like, this was a good one
Have
too. I
to.
like this. This is good.
These shots are awesome.
Yeah. And then the ever, I don't know why we decided to go over to the pond, probably for the
The whole bird.
not quite a swan in the background, but
Close enough. It's a duck.
close enough. How about that? The odds that we got a duck.
I would say I remember that this was my second or third year, I think. This was a little bit earlier on. I think the other ones were fourth year, but yeah, I had to, and my stick's different. So I knew it was a little bit earlier, but, and I think it was really cold that day, but I could be wrong.
No, I remember, so speaking of cold, like this photo shoot, I remember it being like super cold.
It was
You remember
freezing. We were all dying. I remember because we would huddle up together after we take the pictures. You can tell everyone's freezing.
Yeah, this was for a Lacrosse magazine, I believe.
I think you're right.
But there were some really good ones that came out of this shoot too. A lot of fun, and yeah, I just remember it being like freezing cold, and everybody just like, this is one of my favorite shots of you and Kelsey. This is good.
I
You
love
guys look
it.
so intense.
I know, right? I had to put on our hard faces. I'm sure we were dying laughing right after, but oh, this makes me miss it so much.
Yeah, what do you miss the most about it?
I think just getting out every day, obviously being with your 30 of your best friends every day is something that you don't get once you graduate college, and just getting to compete and do something you love. And you obviously study really hard at UVA. The classes are extremely difficult, but then getting to put on your practice stuff and just completely turn that switch off, and then turn on your other lacrosse kind of competitive side, and getting to do it with your best friends is something that you can't really ever recreate.
Now you said put the practice. Do you remember this shoot?
I do. This was for Lacrosse magazine too, wasn't this?
Yes, I was going back through these photos, and it was so funny because you guys were trying so hard not to laugh when you were doing these.
I'm sure.
It
Me and
was
Morgan.
funny. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
this was the
it was
the
the
actual,
scale rule or something, cutting.
yeah, and I actually found like the video files because they had questions for me to ask you that I sent them, and
Uh-huh.
Morgan's answers were hilarious. Like it was pretty funny.
I'm sure. No, this was fun. Yeah, down on the lower turf.
Yeah, but how much do you miss the practicing side of things? Do you miss that?
I do. I mean, I loved going out there every day and competing. I know there was definitely some tough practices, but just getting to go out there every day, and it was like forced exercise. Now it's hard to find the time to do that, let alone make yourself. So I did. I loved the practicing, and we had such great talent that you really were pushed every single day on the practice field. So miss that, my teammates and coaches. So I do miss that part a lot.
All right, this is one of my favorite shoots I've ever done my whole time at UVA, just because of the way the sky turned out. It was amazing.
These pictures are awesome. My parents have, I think, this exact picture in their office. This is one of my favorites. Sky was beautiful. It's another beautiful day in Charlottesville.
So this is an easy one. Just talk about Klockner.
Oh, Klockner. I know. Take me back. I think it's one of the best places to play in college lacrosse. I mean, the grass is, playing on a grass field is it's next to none in terms of now everything's going to turf. So having a huge grass field, it was such an advantage for us because it's so wide, and it was just so much fun to have people sitting on the hill, sitting in the stands. I think it's the best place to play and watch a lacrosse game. Others might agree. I might be a little biased, but I think so.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back out there. Hopefully we're back out there soon. All right, so you said now, what was worse, playing like when it was super hot or playing on that blue turf field?
Oh gosh, the blue turf. The blue turf was awful. And it usually meant that it was freezing, and being from Florida, I am not one for the cold. I'm pretty sure I'm wearing latex gloves in this picture. I definitely am,
Wow,
because
I
I
didn't even notice that.
I hated wearing the lacrosse gloves because I felt like, because all growing up in Florida, there was no need for gloves. So I didn't feel like I could grip my stick really well. So, but the latex gloves keeps the heat in. So this must have been a really desperate day. I only did this probably on one or two occasions, but yeah, it was, I struggled with the cold. I got a little bit better as the years went on, but I didn't enjoy playing on this blue turf.
So, so
Fall, spring, elbows.
I gotta nickname you Michael Jordan because there's so many photos that you have the tongue sticking out too. Like,
Oh gosh, I know. I didn't realize that I was doing that.
so so I have to be honest. Like women's lacrosse, pretty low on my list of favorite things to shoot. Not because of the, but because of the like the dropping of the stick and the stopping. Like all, it's just there's just no flow. Like they've really
Mhm.
got to improve that. And it's gotten a little bit better, but it's still there's some crazy stuff that I
Yeah,
still don't understand.
the rules definitely have gotten better. I remember my parents in high school were always like, "Why are you guys stopping on the whistle? I don't get it." They've changed a lot of the rules in terms of it's pretty much continuous play. You don't have to drop your sticks anymore. Like when you go for a timeout, that was all seemed really silly. So it's a lot more fun to watch. I think it's a lot more fan friendly now. It's been great. They've been playing a lot of the games on well, when they were playing ESPN3 and stuff. So I kept up with a lot of the games that were broadcast. So that was fun.
Yeah, so yeah, like my favorite thing to shoot, like in sports, is the celebration and the dropping of the stick. Always kind of like seemed like it interrupted the momentum of the celebration, during after a goal or something. So
Yeah, I don't think I took full advantage. Now people are getting pretty crazy with slamming their sticks down. So maybe it's more of a celebration now.
uh,
But yeah, I agree. It does kind of interrupt getting with your teammates and celebrating.
so I gotta ask about the goggles. Like, are the goggles a pain? Like, do you just get used to it? Like, how?
Yeah, you get used to them. I mean, there's definitely ones that are more bulky than others, but once you just kind of accommodate to them, and then it feels weird not playing with them on. So it's just something you get used to. But
What
yeah, the
about the
orange
mouth guard?
mouth guard, we were super lucky at UVA. We actually got them like molded, and so they were great. They would kind of snap in, you wouldn't really notice it. In high school, you'd have the ones you'd lose them before practice, so you'd even use the unmolded ones. So those ones were a little tough, but at UVA, they treat us very nicely.
So now this is one of my favorite things in sports to shoot. Your all's actual like introduction when you come out through the tunnel. That's one of my favorite things. Like, just talk to me a little bit about kind of how that started, and then, or if you know how that started, and just what it's like, kind of pumping you up before the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it started. It ever since I was watching UVA lacrosse games, they were doing it. Every team kind of does their own little thing. I loved that we did this. Um, get you all hyped up for the game and getting to come go down and then come back to the tunnel, slap all your teammates' hands, and then obviously Julie's, and then go down whoever else is already lined up on the field. So it was a really cool way to kind of start the game, get everyone involved, everyone excited. But I'm not really sure when they started doing this. This is one of my favorite pictures too, just because you have all your teammates there kind of cheering you on.
So now this is one that I have to ask about too, like the face off. Like, how it's just fascinating to me. Like, how do you, like, when that whistle blows, like how does it even happen? Like, how does it even work? Like,
I know it doesn't make much sense. Oh gosh, and this is Barb Sullivan who crushed me that game. I remember. So basically for the guys, they're on the ground, but for the girls, it's on the backs of your sticks. So everyone has a bunch of different strategies in terms of how they take the draw. You can either pull it back, push it forward. It's gotten to be such a huge art in the game because it is such a big aspect. If you can win possession every single time, the other team could basically not touch the ball. Um, So we drilled it over and over and over. So it's just kind of getting the quickness of flipping your wrists and getting the ball basically into your pocket, the backside of your pocket, before your opponent can kind of do the same. So it's all just kind of reaction time and quick motions with your wrist. So Colleen and I worked on that basically every day. So because it's such a huge part of the game.
So like
And
in this moment, when the ref is like, are you like, how jumpy are you at that point? Like,
you're trying, because usually their hand goes down a slight second before they actually blow the whistle. So you're really looking at when their hand starts going down so that it can be almost before the whistle blows. So it's just, it happens so fast. So you're really just keying in on them, or when their mouth kind of puffs with air, because they're right about to blow the whistle. And it's really, if you can just get that first quick kind of flip of your wrist, and then you can win the draw to your teammates who are either behind you or in front of you. And I was extremely lucky. I had great people on the circle who could, if I could get it to them close in their area, that they could get it. So yeah, that's the biggest thing.
that's really
I had so much fun learning how to take the draw and trying to perfect it all throughout college.
really cool to actually hear somebody kind of break that down, because it's, you know, as a common person, it's just kind of cool to hear that perspective of it. Like, was it an advantage to be on either side, you think? Did you prefer?
Not so much. Sometimes the refs would like walk a certain way away from you that you couldn't see them. So sometimes you would just politely ask, like, can you come more of an angle? But besides that, you didn't really have that much advantage either way. And you can either stand on either side, because like Barb and that other picture were on opposite sides. If you're both pushing or pulling, depending which way you're pushing the draw, or if you're pulling it away from you. So there's so much of an art to it. It's crazy. And it's gotten even crazier since I've graduated. So
Now, did you have to work on your vertical to
yeah, Colleen would try to make me. Yeah, that's a huge thing. It's obviously the height you can get, but it's really about timing the jump so that you're not coming down. You're coming down from your jump when the ball is coming down. You have to kind of time it perfectly and really just work on this like one-handed stuff and having really good control of your stick, even though it's kind of so far away from you. So
maybe they should have everybody come over to the pool and work on jumping up out of the water. That might actually help.
that would be good cross training. I agree.
Oh, that's good. Well, let's see. I had one other game related question here for you. Let's see, which was it? Is this the girl was chasing you down? Where'd it go? Yeah, this girl. Now, look at that face paint right there. Like, you got to be running for your life, right? Like,
yeah. So you always got to run with your stick in front of your body. I know there was some great players. You really trying not to get checked while running down the field is probably one of the greatest skills you can have, in terms of a lot of people like hold the stick out in front of them, like walk the dog. But this, I don't know if this was right after a draw or what, but yeah, she looks like she's going to beat me up.
yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. Now, I saw this one on your Instagram post. You said you miss the hugs the most. Is that still true?
It is. I miss these girls so much. I know we were just texting the other day, our whole class, because we were supposed to get together. It was supposed to be our 5-year reunion this June, which unfortunately COVID kind of got canceled. But yeah, no, I miss these girls and getting to celebrate really big wins. I mean, if you having a common goal with a bunch of different girls and then seeing it through and really kind of achieving those things that you've set forward at the beginning of the season is huge and so much more rewarding when you get to do it with all your best friends. So I actually this is Casey Bachlet. I got to see her in January of this year when I was interviewing for residencies. I went to Denver, and so I got to spend a couple of days with her, which was really fun.
Oh, that's I missed my 20-year high school reunion. Was supposed to be a couple weeks ago? I missed that too. Oh, man, that really makes me feel old saying that out loud. I never should say that ever again.
I know. I can't believe it's been 5 years since college. It's really flown by.
It trust me, the older you get, the faster it goes. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's see what else we got here in the shoot pile. Do you miss the old studio? The old studio in Honesty Hall. Just
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys have upgraded now.
yeah, we got a nice spot in John Paul Jones Arena. So pretty cool.
Yeah, this is old school stuff. No, this is great.
Have you when was the last time you were back in Charlottesville?
I was back, I guess last or two football seasons ago for the Florida State UVA game, which ended up being awesome. We had gone for a football game and just to see some old friends. And then before that, we had a few teammates get married there. Eliza Blue got married at Farmington, which was so much fun. It was I think there was 18 of us from the team, got to see Julie and Colleen. So that was really fun. So I love when everyone has Charlottesville weddings because it gives us a good excuse to go back.
It's so crazy seeing it now, like with the softball stadium up there, and then U-Haul gone, and now the grass practice field for football's there. It's gonna look amazing once it's all done. Like
I know, I can't imagine. I've seen the plans for the new whole sports complex and it looks unreal. So I'm excited for them to finish
I,
that.
I have to ask, do you miss University Hall?
I don't know how much I can say I miss University Hall. I miss our locker room, but
Yeah,
yeah, besides that, and we had some brutal workouts in there too. So not the fondest of memories, but it's good old U-Haul. I know when we went back, the training room was moved to those like there's locker rooms and it was set up like similar. I didn't get to U-Haul was already gone at that point when I went back, which was very weird to see.
did you have a favorite uniform color?
Uh, I would say the white and the blue, the orange, definitely not. We always played horrible in the orange. I don't even know why we ever wore it. I feel like we always lost. But I think the home whites, the all blue was nice too, but the home whites, just because you're playing at home, and the white always looks really nice.
Yeah, I really like the all blue. That all blue photo shoot, that was one of my favorites. That was good.
Mhm.
All right, talk a little bit about Julie.
Oh, Julie. Julie's wonderful. I mean, she obviously took a chance on me being a kid from Florida to come out to UVA. And it was the best decision I ever made. And she's just, you can tell from the moment you step in her office, she truly just cares about the athletes and not only, and obviously cares how on the field performing as a team, but really just the overall experience of UVA. And she's just so wonderful. I mean, it's a testament to her being there over 20 years. I think we just celebrated that for her. And she's great. And she picks off, we had a UVA Zoom call kind of over coronavirus just to get everybody back together. And she just picks up where everybody left off. She's like, oh, how's this and this? She just remembers every little thing about everybody. And it's really amazing considering the amount of players that she's coached. So I couldn't have asked for anything more in a head coach.
Yeah, that's it's every time I see her, and I don't see her that often. I mean, and she always remembers my kids and asks, and it's just I always appreciate that. Like one of my favorite moments with her was actually at graduation. I believe it was 2 years ago, and I was standing beside her as everybody was walking down the lawn, and she was like, "You know what, Matt? I just realized like you might be the most popular person in Charlottesville because like the number of people that have yelled Matt Riley, take my picture." Like,
Uh-huh.
like it's definitely not unpopular. They just like to have a picture taken. Everybody's got to have Instagram nowadays. So
That's awesome. No,
that was
yeah,
cool. I always enjoy talking to her.
yeah, she's wonderful and she remembers everything and cares so much about all of us and everybody at UVA.
And talk a little bit about this award.
Oh, so the Elite 89 award, which was very cool. I actually hadn't heard about it until I was presented with it. So it's basically there's 89 division 1 final fours or division 1 sports, and so they give this award out to the person at the final four that with the highest GPA. So I was extremely honored to be called for this award. Kind of had no idea it was coming, but it's something super special, not only that our team made it to the Final Four. That was a huge accomplishment, kind of put UVA back on the map, and then to kind of get recognized for an academic achievement at a big sporting event was very cool. So it was a really special night.
So in playing, like this is against Syracuse, did you have a favorite opponent to go against, or anybody you had a little more
Um,
jazzed up to play, you
yeah,
know?
I mean, we had such a brutal season. ACC was packed. I actually did really enjoy playing Syracuse. You knew you were going to get a really physical team. They had great athletes. They played a really tough defense, or they played like a zone defense. But if you could, if you could really kind of infiltrate that first defender that was pressuring out on you, I think we played really well against them at times. Certain times we didn't, but this game in particular, we had really played well. So they were a fun team to play against. You knew you were going to get a really great physical game out of them. And they had superstars every year, so they were really fun to play.
So I have to say, this is I love this whole sequence of photos because the light in this game was amazing, kind of coming through, and then the shadows and the. But I had to crop it out. I wish I would have left it uncropped because one of my least favorite things in my time at UVA was the Domino's pizza truck in the background up here. I don't. You can just see the bottom of it, but there was the giant pepperoni pizza. And if you shot from this angle, it was in the background of everything. And I was like, oh,
That's awesome. I didn't never realize that, obviously.
yeah, so that was one of my pet peeves of Klockner Stadium, but now it is gone. It's now like Ben and Jerry's stand, so it's not as noticeable. But
Not as offensive. Oh yeah, this was a Navy game. This was a tough game too. I remember it came down to the very end. They had a really great team. This was a off season or out of conference game that we played every so once in a while.
so this is one of my. There's a lot of shots from this game that I really like. I've got a really good one. I think of Liza maybe in this one.
Uh-huh. I'm
But I was
sure.
actually shot this from behind the goal, like behind the fence.
Uh-huh.
And just because you get so many angles, and I shot that Virginia Tech one from that same spot because you actually get people running straight at you, which you don't really get from the sideline where you usually have to stand.
Uh,
A little tricky trying to shoot through the net, um,
yeah, I was wondering how you did that.
but it's actually because your focal length on the zoom lens is beyond the net, so it doesn't really affect it too much unless you're shooting like off to the sides.
Uh-huh.
If you're shooting straight on, you're pretty good, but if the goal gets in the way, then it's a little tricky.
Yeah,
But
I would imagine so.
there's a lot of good angles from this game. But yeah, this is one of my favorite shots just because of the like the muscle tone and the eyes. Everything's good on this one. So just had to throw that one in there.
It's a very cool shot.
All right, let's go back. You talked a little bit about it. Just kind of touch on just your relationship with your team. How are you keeping in touch? Do you talk to them often?
Yeah, so we have a group chat that we keep in touch with, and then obviously side conversations with other people in your class, or just following vicariously through social media. Unfortunately, time is a little crazy right now, and I know everybody's going through different things with the whole shutdown, but try to keep in touch as much as possible and getting together. We were really excited for this 5-year reunion, kind of planning a girls trip, and just trying to get together once or twice a year. We need to just set something up formally. We were talking about to make it a point of emphasis, just because everyone's kind of so busy and going in a million different directions, living in different sides of the country, but it's always fun. And we had that Zoom call I had mentioned previously with, it was like the last 5 years class. So that was really nice just to be kind of caught up on what everyone was doing. But I miss these girls a ton.
Yeah, do you talk to everybody? Is mostly your class, or is it?
It's mostly my class, and then like, or probably the 2 years above and below me, just those girls that you were kind of with for a good three years. So, but my class predominantly, I think that's how most of the classes are. You just really tight knit.
Here we go. We got to throw this one up. I believe this is your first headshot.
Yes, I was so young. I know this is hilarious because this was a picture I used for my med school applications. And one of my best friends in med school, she played soccer at LSU. And so this is how she had put up her headshot too. So that's how I knew that she had played some sort of sport. But oh my gosh, such a baby.
Had to throw that one in,
Yeah, that one's great.
just to keep you honest. Let's see. All right, let's talk about senior day. Do you have
Oh.
do you remember it? What was it? What was it? What goes through your mind as you're getting ready to play your last game at Quad?
Yeah, you never really think it's going to happen because every year you watch those seniors graduate and you never actually think it's going to be your day. But it's, I mean, extremely special, and to be presented with that kind of gift, something that you can that you can keep forever, and having your parents there and get to come on the field was really special, and getting to celebrate it with the girls that you've been with for 4 years is is just awesome. It's just, you don't want it to end though, ever, but it's a special day because it's not the end, but it's kind of the last time that you're going to step on Clockner together. So it's just a really cool day overall.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like senior days are just like it's just like wow, it's been 4 years already. Like for somebody like you that I've done a lot of shoots with and spent a lot of time with, it's kind of like wow, that it just flies by. And
It really does.
I got to ask, was there a reason for number 7 or just what you were assigned?
I wore number 3 in high school, and Josie was number 3, and she was a senior, so I was like, okay, I'm not getting that number. I liked lower numbers, but 7, and Liz Downs was 7 before me, and she was an awesome player. So trying to kind of live up to those standards, but yeah, nothing really about 7. 3 was more my number going into college, but
Right,
I think
just had
Morgan and I both wanted 3, and then we're like, okay, we can't pick those numbers, so she got 6 and I got 7.
all right. I think I've about hit everything here. I always have everybody kind of at the end. Oh, this was a fun day.
These are great.
Yeah, so I always have everybody just kind of sum up their time at UVA, wax poetically about how wonderful it is. Just kind of give me your closing statement and what your time was like at UVA.
Yeah, no, my time was amazing. It was kind of everything I'd ever hoped for in terms of a great academic experience, getting challenged, and not only getting to kind of play the sport I loved, but at an extremely high level. UVA did all those things for me. It's where I met my best friends, my boyfriend now, and it gave me the best experience, and it was great. I almost had gone to University of Florida to play, and that's where my whole family had gone to undergrad. So that was really hard. Just the fact of parents wouldn't be able to drive to games, but it was the best decision I ever made. My family absolutely loved coming to visit me and just exploring a different part of the country, and meeting people from different parts of the country was kind of the best opportunity I could ever have. And it's allowed me to get into medical school, then to get into residency, kind of that background. And the UVA community is so big. I wear a UVA lanyard to work every day, and I get so many go who's or wahoo, and it's just a really great alumni network, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So I owe the sport and UVA kind of everything. So
All right. Well, that was a great summation of everything. Yeah, I think I've taken enough of your time. But this was fun to catch up. A lot of good memories here, and I
yeah.
wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. This was awesome. I've missed lacrosse so much in UVA, and this was, as you said, a great kind of walk down memory lane. So I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, this was one of my best ideas I've ever. I'm not a talk show host by any means, but definitely not in my wheelhouse or comfort zone. But it's been a lot of fun to catch up with everybody and just kind of a lot of memories photos I'd even forgotten about. That I've stumbled upon in looking through stuff. So it's been fun. Hopefully we can keep it going even after COVID passes. So
Exactly. No, I think this is great. You definitely need to keep this going.
Yeah. So, well, thank you again for joining me, and enjoy your vacation. I appreciate you joining me on that. So,
Of course. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
all right. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.